I'm here at one of my favorite Tiffin establishments. Truly a place of a lot of memories for me as a pretty cool youth. Well, not necessarily youth, it is a bar after all, but we'll get into that. I'm here to meet my man Lee at the Viaduct in Tiffin, Ohio. It's gonna be a good conversation, even better food. Stay tuned.
So would you like a drink or anything before we start?
You know, Lee, I think I got that covered myself. I actually brought one from the road.
Yeah, that's not cool though. We can't do that anymore in here.
What do you mean?
Never in here.
I can't, it's not BYOB kind of establishment?
No.
Well, can I finish this one at least?
No, I'll drink it for you.
Drink it for me? All right. I got a little bit, I got in my pants. That's what I got right there. Well, we're starting off with a bang here over at the Viaduct in Tiffin, Ohio. Let me tell you something. Just coming through this place, this is a staple of the community. It represents the culture here phenomenally. I'm here with my man, Lee Luzader. And we're going to get into a little bit about this place. It holds some big significance to me, and I think everybody who has been in this town, students and otherwise, the population here. So why don't we get into it? Lee, Viaduct, it's very, very well known here. When did you acquire this beautiful business?
So we took over in 2010, and we've been here ever since, and it'll be 15 years next May.
Wow. Now, has it always been the Viaduct?
No, before it was Murray's Refinery, and before that it was the M&R bar for many, many years. It was a long time standing M&R bar, and that's what most of the people will remember for a long time.
What does M&R mean?
Well, there's a lot of Miller and Russell, and there was different names over the years, but they just always had M&R.
Very nice. When you think about this bar in the community, you kind of recognize and realize what it means to the people here. Not just, the people of Tiffin, Ohio, the residents that live here, and also the students. You have a very vast clientele here, and everybody seems to gravitate towards here.
Yeah, this bar is historic. It's the oldest bar in Tiffin and one of the oldest in Northwest Ohio. It's been around for, since the 1850s. And there's a ton of history, and so many people have come through these doors and been in here and have memories. I hear memories from people all the time about their grandpa bringing them in and coming in with their parents and stuff. This has been around forever, and it went through stages. Of course, it was a stag bar for a while back in the 40s and 50s, and then it became a regular bar again. And the side over on the side where you remember a lot of the dance floor and where the stage is, that side didn't even exist till 1993, I think, when they broke into that side of the building and opened it up. Before, it was just this straight shot for 170 years or whatever. I don't know, I'm not doing the math in my head, but a long time. It was just this little bar right through here, this straight shot, and then it broke in over there, and it, of course, increased the possibilities over the years with the dance floor and live music that we like to do a lot of live music. It's slowed down a lot over the years, unfortunately. The live music crowd isn't what it used to be. But the students love to have their dance parties in here on Friday and Saturday night, and they really do good for us.
That is a fact. Do they still, you mentioned Friday, Saturday night, do they still have the Tiffin Turn Up Tuesdays?
So no, Tuesdays aren't a thing anymore, unfortunately.
Really?
Well, back in the day it was $2 Tuesday and all that, and that ended when COVID hit. So all that kind of stuff kind of went by the wayside and never got brought back. Obviously, we can't afford to do $2 Tuesday anymore. And the students, they don't go out and drink quite like they used to.
Really?
Anymore. No.
It's a different generation, huh?
It is. It's changed a little bit. I think a lot of them are not drinking like the old days.
That's a shame.
Well, it's good for society, probably bad for the bar business.
Probably. I think it makes, more character, a better character person. Yeah.
They come out, but it's not like the frequencies there. So it's tough anywhere. I think all bars are seeing a decline in late night business. And at least in small towns like Tiffin. You know, maybe in the big cities they don't have those issues because there's so many more people.
Yeah.
But around here, you know, it's just not quite the same.
You know, you're all at home hearing this from Lee for the first time. I'm hearing this for the first time as well because that's one of my most reminiscent, memories is coming out here on Tuesdays, and to hear that that's not really a thing anymore. And then you got these Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I guess, killing the tradition. Absolutely devastating. They're not following in the footsteps. It's heartbreaking. I hate to hear that, but...
Well, one theory is, and I don't know if this is a fact or not, but it's a theory that I've heard is since marijuana's became legal, a lot of people are staying home and, enjoying that instead of going out.
I believe that. They probably got that night watch working overtime at Tiffin,
Yeah, I don't know. So.
Hey, I remember before, I might have partaken a little bit at TU, well before it was legal here.
Most people when they're in college do, so,
I was shocked to hear that too, because I'm staying out in Sandusky, and right across the street they had a dispensary. I'm thinking, that wasn't a thing a couple of years ago.
And the one in Tiffin just opened up this last week for recreational.
Really?
Yep. So times are changing, that's for sure. I don't know which way it's going, for good or bad, but they're changing.
So now instead of coming out, having a drink with your friends, dancing with the girls, having a good time, you're just staying in the dorm and falling asleep. Getting baked.
Yeah. No, I mean, hey, to each their own. We wish we had more people coming out, though.
Fair enough. Like I said, that's definitely something to hear. Now, back when I used to come out at night, drink, have a good time, I didn't really know that this place had fine cuisine.
Yeah, so when we took over, Murray had a kitchen, but it wasn't like a priority. They only offered a few things and stuff. So we expanded the kitchen quite a bit over the years, and now we have a full-blown menu, with just about every type of option available. So we do a lot of food, thank God, because that keeps us going right now with the late-night bar business not as good as it was. So our food sales are a big part of what we do now.
I saw on Facebook that you make a killer Ruben here.
Yeah, one of the best around, I've been told.
You know how to make a whiskey sour here as well?
Yeah.
All right, well.
We know those.
Hint.
Yeah.
Maybe a little Ruben and whiskey sour in my future.
Yeah, we could probably hook you up.
Probably hook me up,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. And hey,
my wife says we have the best Ruben around, and she wouldn't tell me that if it wasn't true.
She's a good critic of that?
Yeah. She just loves Ruben. So.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you the review for free.
Yeah.
I'll hook you up with that.
Okay.
Hey, speaking of handouts and just hooking up a good fellow over here, you maybe have a Viaduct shirt that I can sit in my garage, put the shirt on, bench a little bit, cat call to the ladies, something like that. Something else I can grab.
We ran out of shirts, man.
Shirts?
Sorry, but I'll maybe give you a hoodie. How about
maybe a hoodie? Can I cut the sleeves
and
off?
I could even probably give you a stocking hat.
A stocking hat?
Yeah.
I definitely need that.
Up in Michigan, it gets cold.
It gets cold, and also, if you think that my hair is, a little bit of a mess now, this is me doing it. So I could definitely
put a hat on.
Benefit from a hat. Yeah, put a hat on. You mentioned that you had this expansion over here with the dance and the music. We've had a lot of bands come through here over the years. What are some of your favorite acts that have come through here?
Oh wow, yeah. So we've had a lot of different bands. So many bands I probably couldn't even name. I know I couldn't name them all anymore. I can't remember. Back in the day when we first took over, we had a band every weekend. It didn't matter. There was always a band in here every weekend for probably 7 or 8 years. And then it just started to dwindle down on the popularity. So, but over the year I've had some really good tribute bands. I've never had a national act other than Josh Melton, country guy, played here a couple years ago. But tribute band Sins of a Madman out of Detroit is just amazing band we've had here. Ozzy tribute band did Ozzy Osbourne. We've had The Nightmare out of Detroit who does the Alice Cooper show that was phenomenal.
Love Alice.
Yeah, and they also, they got a little bit of everything up there, tribute bands, and we've had Panama from Cleveland here, and
Van
some
Halen.
of the Van Halen tributes, and we've had, of course, Thunderstruck back in the day when they were really big out of Cleveland. Play here numerous times, and you know those were always fantastic shows.
I remember Electric Circus would come here a lot as well.
Yeah, Electric Circus as well. That's our up-to-date, current, favorite. They're still out and about playing, and they'll be here on December 7th.
December 7th, mark your calendars. That Nightmare Band, the Dallas guy, does he behead himself on stage?
Yeah, oh yeah, he had
Really?
everything. He had a guillotine, he had electric chair, all that, he hung himself. He did the whole show.
Just right from the lights, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
my
from
goodness.
our rafters. Yeah, it is an amazing show. Johnny Rotten, if you ever get to see it.
Yeah?
Yeah, check him out. You're from Michigan, so
Of course,
Detroit.
of course.
They're still out there traveling, And there's another good one up there, the Wrecking Crew we've had, the Motley Crue tribute
Okay.
band. They're real good.
Sounds like some great entertainment out here in the Viaduct. I mean, I don't know if any of it necessarily touches the one time that On Top played here back in 2015. That would be my former band, but
Did ya?
You're a nasty woman. Telling me to go, yeah. I'm so fucking tired. You're trying to ruin my life. So go away, stay away. You're not retired.
Was it one of the TU showcases, or?
it was with, that goofball Cole Jenkins. I don't know if you
Okay.
remember him, but he was playing a show and we opened up for him just because,
Okay.
we actually had a pretty good run after that. But that was our first show ever over here at the Viaduct, and it's a phenomenal time.
Yeah, we've done a lot of first-time shows for bands over the years. Electric Circus, their first show I was ever here. you
Really?
know. And that's been over, 11 years ago now.
Yeah,
so.
they've been a real staple.
But we've had so many great bands for locally. The Mongrels back in the day that would play here, and Rock and Roll Outlaws, different bands that were just so good.
Huh. It's great entertainment locally. I advise anyone to come out, check it out, get the Ruben too, So let's say I had a pitcher of beer, maybe 3 pitchers of beer. One thing you're known for here is the bouncers. You tend to hire, a lot of the local football players, big guys come on in here. How many
Yeah.
bouncers do you think it'd take to remove me after a rowdy 3 pitchers?
Probably 0. I bet our bartenders will do it.
The bartenders, the girls could do it? They'll just toss me out?
Yeah.
I believe you.
No, but we do have good bouncers. I've been fortunate to have a lot of football players over the years that have come through the doors and helped, and bartenders and stuff. So, right now Zoe is our main bouncer guy, and I don't think you want him to throw you out.
No.
No.
Does he have to throw people out often?
No, not really anymore.
Not really anymore, yeah.
You'd be surprised. The fighting is way down anymore, and I think that's partially because of the bouncers are here. The people know that we're not going to let you fight, and we're going to kick you out, and you probably won't come back if you fight.
Exactly. You gotta respect the business.
Yeah, we don't stand for it in any way, shape, or form.
See, you got this awesome jukebox here. Has anybody ever come in, maybe played The Boys Are Back in Town 20 consecutive times in a row?
No.
No? What would you do if I were to come in later on tonight and maybe, sneak on in here, pop it on?
Well, I'm probably not going to be here later on tonight, so that'd be up to Haley who's going to be here. But if I was here, I'd just skip.
You just skip? You can skip?
I can skip those songs after a few.
It's a great, Thin Lizzy.
It is. I love it. I just heard it on the radio yesterday.
It's one of the best songs of all time, in my opinion. That comes from a question about, I read this story one time of a guy who did it at the bar before they could skip it. The entire place went absolutely mad. I mean, they were about to riot by the time it was on for the 5th time.
Yeah.
So I thought, man,
Well, you can always unplug it too.
you can always unplug it, yeah. What would you say is the most difficult aspect running a bar?
The bar business is tricky. It's changing all the time. But the biggest thing is having good help. Having people work with you that you trust and that are going to be dependable and give their best effort and take care of the customer. Because if we don't do a good job taking care of customers, people won't come back. And that's the thing you got to do in this as a service industry and a bar is make sure people have a good time while they're here. Their food's good, their drinks are good, and they get waited on in a timely fashion. and hopefully with a smile and a good attitude. So that's probably the biggest problem in a bar anywhere though. I think that goes. It's not just in a bar, but getting good people.
And one of the first things you mentioned was reliable and trustworthy. You know, you don't want them skimming.
Yeah, it's very easy business to, you know, to try and be shady and either give stuff away or you know, take the money, whatever. But so yeah, you always got to be careful with that. Some people don't have the best intentions and the best integrity. So.
Fair enough. Speaking of that, you know, just for, you know, my own personal knowledge, my own personal sake, where do you keep the safe?
There's a big one in that back room back there.
Oh, yeah?
In our storage room. It's been there for I don't even know how many years. Nobody can get into it.
Really?
We don't even know what's in it.
I might have to bring the old stethoscope here, see what I can't do. You know?
Yeah, I'd love to see somebody open it.
Maybe we'll get Geraldo over here.
It's so old though. I don't know if it's got any explosives in there that if you know how back in the day if you did that it would explode on you. I don't know. I'm serious. There's a safe back there that we don't know what's in it.
So following up, obviously, I asked you the most difficult aspect of, you know, or challenging aspect of owning a bar. What's your favorite part about doing this? All these years, you know.
You know, it's seeing people that you know you get to know, or your friends and your families. Yeah, just you know that's really fun for me. I like to you know talk. You know, when I was young, my friends always said I talk too much and stuff, and I would talk to everybody. I'm still kind of that way. So it's you know it's nice to see people. You know you don't get it out and about when you get older. So having a place like this where people will come in, it's really good to catch up with people.
That's a beautiful answer because it sounds like you know you're really in it for the right reasons. You know, building relationships, being here for the community, and that's truly important. I mean, you know, I'm sure a lot of places are just out there for the money. They don't really care about how they treat their customers. But you know, this is and Tiffin itself is a very tight knit community. I mean, you know, beyond the school and it just there's so much here in this town. I think personally that is special to a lot of different people in a lot of different ways. That I think a lot of people respect this town and love this town. And like I said right from the jump, this bar has always been a massive staple when it comes to this community.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's been around, and this bar will be here long after me. I'm sure it'll be here forever.
Yeah, we might get into that. That might be a little bit of foreshadowing. We might get into that in just a second. Okay. We'll see. So, I'm sure you're familiar with Roadhouse, the movie.
Yeah.
Are you, you know, let's say right in front of you is sitting, you know, this gorgeous all-American type, you know, gentleman in a blue button-up shirt, slacks, kind of the cooler type, you know, really good with his hands, really good with the karate kind of deal. You looking for a cooler?
Yeah.
You know, maybe I can relocate down here?
Sure, man. You can come in. I'll have Zoe put you on the list, and you can catch all these students trying to drink underage and do all the stuff they like to get in trouble for. Throw them out.
Well, that's only if Zoe can handle them. I'm just going to sit there with my arms crossed drinking the coffee and say, Zoe, you still get like a lot of underage kids in here?
Yeah, we're the only bar that lets them in under 21, so we let 18 and up in for the students to have somewhere to go, come out for the DJ, and they get to dance in the back, but they definitely try to underage drink. We'll mark their hands with X's, and you get a wristband if you're old enough, so
I remember the
you gotta
X's
have one
too.
or the other.
Yeah, those X's, and I'm not saying that they discriminate anyone, but you know, some of those bouncers, you know, they just give you the quick X. I remember back in the day, some of them, if they didn't like you or something, they just like your whole entire hand would be black.
Yeah.
That was. Let me ask you though, with those X's, you ever, you know, you or any of the guys ever head into the bathroom and maybe see them vehemently scrubbing them off, trying to get those X's off?
It's happened many times. The bartenders will go in there and catch them doing it sometimes, just because they're in there and they don't know they're the bartender.
And they think, you know, they won't recognize
them. I think
them.
they can get away, but yeah, our people will recognize you most of the time.
I mean, this place, I mean, it gets bumping, it gets packed, it gets crowded, but, you know, it's not to the point where you're going to sit there and say, oh, man, I don't remember any of these people coming in. They remember who comes in.
No, they'll get to recognize you after a while, too.
Yeah. Never recognize me, though. I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to cause Lee any heat here. I'm just saying, you know, slick guy.
Like I say, we know people are going to try to drink underage, and we just try to do our best to not let them do it.
fair enough. I respect that. So, I was here one night, probably about 2014. We're by the pool table, and I think I gained myself, you know, a little woman stalker for a while. You know, she was quite obsessed with me, just off of looks alone.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm wondering, you know, night 2014, you think you might have been like in the area?
Yeah.
You know, maybe in here?
Not me, man.
You wouldn't have been in this
I
establishment?
could have been
You
in
could
here,
have been?
but I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Who that would be.
No, I understand. Oh, I know who it is. I'm just saying because, you know, it's like that thing, you know, are you ever looking up at the moon and someone else is looking up at the moon and we're looking up at it too? I'm just thinking, you know, were you and I connected when this stalker girl, you know, I'm just, it's like a historical thing.
No, I don't believe so.
No? All right, well, final question, I think. Wrapping this up here. Can I get my beer back?
Yeah. All right. Just
I
drink
can
it
get a sip.
outside.
Drink it outside? We're not going to get Zoe on me if I take a little sip right now?
No, Zoe's busy.
I'm just kidding, no. I'm gonna pay for this too. I brought my own beer. I'm gonna pay for it though. No harm, no foul. And
Hey, we'll take it.
hey, we'll take it. You know, it'll go into the tip jar, something like that, right?
Right.
Listen, it's been absolutely phenomenal to come back here. I haven't been back here in years, but coming back, it's just warms my heart truly. I recommend to anybody coming through here, you got to meet Lee today. Wonderful gentleman, owns this beautiful establishment. Come by the Viaduct, you're gonna love it. Great food, great Ruben, great whiskey sour. I haven't tried it yet, but take my word for that because it's just like a future thing. We're gonna foreshadow.
Oh my God.
Listen, when we were young, or at least when I was young, and I got around some friends who were looking at money, we used to play Where's Waldo.
I was right.
If I had more thumbs, I'd use them.
Too good. Too good.
Can you not only get the ball in his hands quickly because he's really good and run out the catch as well. That's one of the strongest suits in this game. But also you see here reverses, put it in the slot, throw a quick screen game to him. Get creative with how you're going to use it. Just like
And you're gonna see me enjoying it, and it's gonna be the best thing I've ever had. Also, Lee, you know, you kind of foreshadowed it, but off camera you said when you retire, you're gonna pass this business on to me completely free of charge, no taxes, no nothing, just, you know, the business is yours now, Don. So I really appreciate that that's on camera now. That's a legally binding obligation now because it's on
Yeah.
camera.
On camera of you saying that, not me.
Well,
If I win the lottery, maybe we'll think about it. But I don't even play the lottery, so I don't know how that's going to happen.
So it's not going to happen. All right. Well, hey, I'm sure, you know, this is a labor of love here. You run this place truly with love, and I know that from now into 100 years from now, it's been here for 100 years. 100 years from now, it's still going to be here, still being a labor of love. Love that ice machine too. Lee, I appreciate you, sir. Thank you very
for coming
much.
by.
Of
Good
course.
to see you again.
Great
man.
seeing you, and I can't say it enough. Come to the Viaduct, come to Tiffin.
Yeah.
Hey, next up, I think we have probably a musical act. We're gonna see about it. I haven't edited this yet. You hear me saying that a lot. That's just how it is. Thank you very much. See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Oh yeah, I know this bathroom very, very well. I can't show you the next part, but I did want to inform you that I know this bathroom very well. History, memories, great times. Didn't come through, actually.